Hello everyone, this is D Srinivas working as a assistant professor in the department of CSC, Narsimha Reddy Engineering College. In this session, we used to discuss about introduction to C programming language, and in this we used to learn about what are the fundamentals of computers, what is mean of computer, what are the characteristics of computers. Later we'll come to the compilers and their functionality. So first we need to understand what is mean of computer. The computer, the word comes from the compute. The computer word, it comes from the compute. Compute means calculate, to calculate something. So the computer is a one electronic device. mm, It's an electronic device which takes something as input in the form of data and process that input, generates the output as information. Simply, you need to understand computer is a one electronic device, which means that the devices which works on power is called as an electronic device. So this is one kind of device which takes something as an input and process that as desirable output. So this is called as a computer. So this computer is nothing but one kind of electronic device which takes the data as input from the input devices and process it and generates the desirable output at high speed in the form of information. So next, data could be anything, like data could be pictures, sounds, text, graphics, and these data can be performed, data can be transferred, uh, processed, computed in the form of information by the instructions. So remember this. Computer can perform the arithmetic and logical operations at high speed and convert this data into the information. So what is mean of data? Data is nothing but it is a raw material which we cannot understandable. Data is it's a raw material facts that we cannot understand. So when we are applying something on this, we are applying some instructions, operations on the data, make the data as meaningful. This is called as a information. This information has sense and meaning. So where it is generated from? It's generated from the data itself. So this is called as a computer. Computer is an electronic device. So normally we used to see this symbol on electronic device, which means that it's a normally we are indicate represents with the power button. But we need to understand this button indicates it's a combination of zeros and ones. This combination of zeros and ones means any electronic device or any kind of component, electronic component will have a two states. One state is called as on state, another state is called as a off state. So representing that state, we use zeros and ones. So it means that any electronic device that has this kind of symbol, it means that device can understand only the zeros and ones. So computer also, it's a zeros and ones understandable machine that we call. So this can be performed very highly complicated problem quickly and accurately. So this is the overall definition. Computer is an electronic device, a programmable machine which takes the data as input in the form of data from the input devices, process it, generates the output as information on the output devices. So this is a basic definition. So simply you need to remember computer is a one electronic device which takes the data and process it and generates the output as information. So, who is the father of computer? The father of computer is nothing but Babbage. He is the person who is called as a father of computers. Next, what are the advantages of the computer? What are the main drawbacks of the computer? Also, we'll discuss in this session. So, first one is speed. It can perform millions of expressions within a fraction of second. So this is very speed. It can perform very speed, and it can process the various kinds of millions of expressions at a fraction of seconds itself. Next, second one is storage. It stores the large amount of data on various storage devices, which used to store the different kinds of data, also various devices on various devices. And next one is accuracy. That accuracy, it means it can perform the computations at very high speed and without any mistakes. Accuracy, that we call as accuracy. Next, reliability. For example, if you store the data on your computer, after so many years also the data will be constant in the same form, so it will work, it will not be changed. So it will not be changed day to day. So it means that it are reliable. Next one is, this doesn't have any tiredness. This is called as a diligence. So diligence in the is nothing but the computer, it will not feel as a tiredness. If you are giving the one instruction multiple times also, it will consider as a first time itself. So this is called as a diligence. Next, automation. For example, I have created one task in the computer. I said I can execute multiple times by clicking single click itself. Whenever I want to ask, it will be reopened and it will be perform that task multiple times. So this is called as a automation. Next, multitasking. For example, if you want to do the multiple task at the same time, you can do with the computer also. You can execute the different kind of tasks simultaneously. So it can perform the more than one task at a time. So disadvantages. The major disadvantages, there is no intelligence. Naturally, the computer doesn't have any intelligence. No intelligence of it. Lack of intelligence. We can mention as a lack of intelligence. No intelligence by naturally. So we used to pass the instruction. What we need to do with the computers, we need to pass as instructions. So it cannot think while doing it. It will process the instructions, not think as a human being. Next, it doesn't have any natural intelligence. It cannot think about the properness, correctness, or effective of work it is doing. So it will not analyze any kind of data. Next, it unable to correct the mistakes. So it cannot correct the mistake by itself, and it will not uh, identify whether the results is incorrect or wrong produced by the computation. So it will not understand that. So computer system will be divided as a three major parts. One is called as a hardware, software, and users. The computer system consisting of three parts. One is called as hardware, software, and users. So first, hardware. Hardware is nothing but it's a physical device. So we can touch and feel. The devices are the parts which can be touch and feel are components of the computer which have electrical components or physically exist components is called as a hardware. Physically exist. These are nothing but physically exist. We can touch and feel it. Physically exist. Next, like for example, your keyboard, mouse, cabinet of computer, consider anything. So these all physically exist. We can touch and we can feel it. The second one is software. This is nothing but set of instructions. This is set of instructions. It's a program. We also called as in terminology is called as a program. Program is nothing but set of instructions that can process your data. So for example, you said that, for example, we mentioned as computer can process the instructions uh, which used to process your data. To make the data as a desirable output, we need to pass the instructions. That instruction is called as a program or software. We can pass any kind of instructions. That instruction will work on the data and make the data as meaningful. Next one is users. Users are nothing but persons or missions uh, which can operate your computer. Persons or machines which can operate your computer. So this is what we mentioned. Computer system will divide it as three parts. One is hardware, software, and thank you. In the next session, we'll learn about the programming languages and how many types of languages, and we'll discuss about compiler and interpreter and program execution in C.